Okay, so I'm going to start, and if anybody else joins, we'll invite them in whenever they get here. So I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Melanie Richard. I'm from Nova Scotia, Canada, and I started doing Google Classrooms during the pandemic. I'm no pro by all means, and you might see me struggle a little bit in my language. My first language is French, so all my all my stuff has been either translated or I've created myself. But that's the fun thing with Google. With Google, you can share and copy and translate it. I've translated from English, I've translated from Spanish. So everything is for the community. So I'll get started. Somebody else is coming in. So the first thing with Google Classroom, or with a Google virtual classroom, it's all done on slides. Now I've seen people do it on Canvas, I think is what it's called, and you can also do it on Microsoft PowerPoint. But I find Google Classroom seems to be globally recognized. Therefore, it's a lot easier to share and to make accessible for everybody. So what I'm going to do with you today is talk about a couple of different little things that I've learned that are very useful for doing your Google Classroom, and then I'm going to build one with you. So we can all build one together. There's always something that can be done, and we'll go from there. So if I'm not mistaken, I think everybody is a phys ed health teacher. I'm also an athletic director. So I've created stuff that I might be using during the pandemic while we're teaching at home, but it's also stuff that I can give to the students when they're at school. They can go on a computer in a learning center, they can go during recess, and they can actually access it all the time. We don't know if we're going back to school full time. We have no education plan for September. So I'm kind of playing around, having stuff ready in case we're not going back, in case we are. And I'm going to make one with you guys today so we can all build one at the same time. So the first thing you have to do is you need to get your bitmoji, your avatar on your phone, create it, and then you should all see this little link up here. So there's a little green bitmoji in your Google Chrome. So that's an extension, and everything that you have on your avatar, on your bitmoji here, automatically gets sent to your computer. So if you want to do something different in your attire, you want to change your sneakers, you want to change your outfit for the day, you have to do it on your phone, and then it'll automatically change it onto your laptop or computer. So the first thing you're going to do is go into Google Slides. So everybody just open a blank Google Slides. So once you have a Google Slides, you might have squares here to put titles and stuff. You can just delete those. So you have a blank Google Slides. Now, you have two options. You can either go and insert image, search from the web. If you have a picture that you want of your gym at home or at school, you can use that gym, or you can go in Google. And all I did was I Googled gymnasium backgrounds, and I have a bunch of images that popped up. So I hadn't seen this one, this indoor basketball court. I like it. So all you do is you copy it. Sorry, my laptop is in French. So you're gonna copy the picture, then you go back in your Google Slides, you paste it, and then you have your background. Now that it's there, you don't like it, you can change it. I find it a little fuzzy. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to go back and pick a different one. Now this one looks nice. So let's try this one. Copy the image and you paste it and you fit it into your page. I like that one.
Okay, I'm already lost. So can you go back to and tell me where I need to go to get that?
Okay, so all I did was I opened up a different tab up top in Google, and I did a Google search for gymnasium background. Oh, I think somebody wants to log in. I did a gymnasium background. That's okay. So you're gonna have you're gonna have your blank Google slides, and you're gonna have your Google Sheet or your Google web browser, and you're gonna Google gymnasium background, and you're gonna find a picture of it.
Okay, I see the picture of it.
Okay, so you can copy the image when you right click.
Okay, copy image.
And then go back into your Google Slides.
Okay, so my Google slide has a title and stuff on it. How do I get to just a blank one?
Okay, so I'm just going to create a new slide to show you. So a new slide.
So just go to File.
So you probably have something similar to this.
Yes.
So if you just highlight both of them, you see that blue rectangle I have?
Yeah.
You just highlight both of them and backspace, and they'll go away.
Well, see, I tried that and mine didn't go away. That's why I was confused.
Or you can do them individual as well. So as long as you have that blue, you can individually do them as well.
Okay. Sorry.
That's fine, please. If there's any other questions, please, and feel free, because I'm here to help you guys, and the more that you guys can learn, we all know how it is, and the more of these we can get together, the easier it's all going to be for all of us. So please, if there's any other questions, feel free to ask and interrupt. Is there anybody else that needs a little bit of guidance on how to get a background up and going? Anybody else need step-by-step? Or does everybody seem to be okay?
Yes. Good.
Perfect. I'm just gonna wait and see if there's anybody else that needs something. Please chime in so I can help, and if not, we'll go to the next step. Okay, so it looks like everybody should have a background. You don't necessarily have this one. You might have a different one, totally fine. So now you have the option of adding objects. The background is always the first thing you need to get done. You need to put your background and then you build on top of it. So the first thing I want to do, let's say I want to put a picture of myself playing soccer. Okay, so you're gonna go up to your bitmoji extension and you're going to soccer. You have one with a soccer ball and you just drag it onto your Google Slides. Did I lose anybody there? Is everybody still good to go? Okay. So when you have that blue square, you can adjust it. So obviously that's a little bit too big for our slide. So I'm gonna put it down right here, make it a little bit smaller. Now, if you are to put it too close to the side, there's going to be, my left arm is going to be out of the virtual classroom. So it's up to you. There's sometimes you do want half of the picture to be out, that's fine. But if you want your full body to be in, there's another one. So I have this right there, and that'll be able to be adjusted at any time. Now, just for example, I want to be putting, I'm going to show you my first one. This is actually my gym at school, and I got the custodian to take a picture of it when he was there one day, just doing security during the whole COVID. And then I wanted to add myself in bitmojis in my gym. So I changed my ensemble, my outfit, a couple of times. What you can do then, right here, what you should do then is you can take your phone and change your avatar. So I'm just going to show you. I'm on my Bitmoji app. I'm changing my avatar. I'm going to choose. I switched my clothes on my avatar on my phone. I go back to my Bitmoji app, and here we go. I am now dressed in different clothes on that Google extension. And now I have two avatars on my screen. Is there anybody that wants me to help them create their own avatar, create their own couple of characters on it? Does anybody need a little bit of guidance on that?
Hey, Melanie.
Yes.
Hi, it's Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Hey, I am trying to, I just downloaded the Bitmoji extension on my MacBook.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to find where it went so I can figure that out.
Okay, so are you on Google Chrome?
I am.
Okay. So do you have any other extensions downloaded?
Like right there. Is that where I would find?
Right. Do you see where it is right there?
I do. I don't see it on mine, so I'm wondering if it's like
might be hidden.
Oh, hold on. I might have found it.
So this little puzzle piece will also show you the other extensions that you have.
Okay, and I found it. So okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, Melanie.
Yes.
This is really stupid, but when I pull up my extensions, my Bitmojis aren't there.
Your Bitmojis are not there. What do you see?
I just see Bitmojis that they've created, I guess. Just the.
So have you done it on your phone?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess for right now, I can just use what they have just to get an idea of how to do
it. You might have to link.
You
might have to link like your email or something through your phone and your laptop. I'm sure there's a YouTube tutorial on how to do that somewheres.
Okay.
Yeah. So just use that for now. And if you want afterwards, after this session, you and I can stay on and I can try to unbug you with it.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, I'm just looking. So you might have to go like on this page and email address and password for them to sync together would be my guess. But we can do that afterwards. So does everybody have an avatar or a character onto their Google Gym, their gym or their classroom? Is everybody good to go to the next step?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So the next thing, we all have, let's say, hula hoops. We want to add hula hoops into our gymnasium. So the easiest way will be going into insert an image and searching the web. It's going to get you to search Google. Now, in your Google search bar, if you're directly in Google, you're obviously going to have more, but you can always look in there afterwards. So I always start off with image and search the web. Then you have this that comes up. Oh, just got that. So let's go with hula hoops. And the key is to make everything transparent. So everything you want needs to have a transparent background. So for instance, this does not have a transparent background. You have it in the middle of your picture. You can't really use it. Meanwhile, this seems to have a transparent background. So you could use those if you would want as an object in your gymnasium. Like I said, usually there's not as many pictures as if you were just in Google. So I'll go in our search and hula. And you have more. I like these ones. Oh, those ones seem to be nice. Now, if you see the squares, the white and gray squares in the background, pardon?
Sorry.
That's fine. If you have the white and gray squares in the background, chances are it is transparent. So I'm gonna go with that one just because it's easier. You copy the image and you paste it. Oh, and it's not transparent. They fooled me this time. So you can use those ones. You have two options. Now this is one of the little tricks that I've used and that I have learned during making Google Classrooms. So if I can get everybody just to have a look at this, and then you guys can put hula hoops or whatever you want on yours. So I thought this one would have a transparent background. Surprise, it does not. So what you're going to do, you save that image on your hard drive. So I am going back to my Google, to my search bar, and I am going to save the image. So now if you have a look on my desktop, I save everything onto my desktops. The hula hoops are right here on my desktop, and they do not have a transparent background. So it's not going to be useful in our Google Slides. Once you have saved that, here's the first trick. So remove.bg, remove background. Here you upload a picture. My hula hoops are there. I upload the hula hoop picture. That's why I was saying the gray and white squares. I thought it was going to be a transparent background because remove BG, so remove backgrounds, when you have eliminated a background, it comes into those little squares. And you can do that with a personal picture. You can do that with anything that you have on your phone and you want to upload it to your computer. Just for instance, I'm going to show you, where is mine? No. So for instance here, these are my actual dogs that I had pictures of. I put them on remove backgrounds on that website, and it took away the backgrounds, and I'm able to put my dogs into my Google Slides.
Cool.
Yeah, so you can make any picture, realistic or not, you can make them transparent so you can use them in your slides. So I just did that with the hula hoops. I took these hula hoops that I had found online. They didn't have that removable that transparent background. I uploaded it. Once you have taken away the background, you have to download it again. So as you can see, I have the original here, and I have this one that the background was removed. When you go in your gym or in your classroom, here it is. That's what I had. I wanted those hula hoops. You insert the image, you upload it from the computer, you make sure you have the right one. So the one that I removed the background, and there it is.
You make it seem so easy.
Yeah. Click.
So remove background is going to be a great tool for you.
That's awesome.
I also coach gymnastics, and I'm getting their equipment ready to possibly go on virtual if we have a second wave. So I went into the gym, their gymnastics room, and I took pictures of all of the equipment, and then I put them all on remove background, and they're able to have their real gymnastics mats and their real bars and their real beams that we would technically have in gymnastics class, and then you can work around that.
That's awesome.
So remove background is your best friend.
Is that a program that you have?
It's actually a website, remove.bg. That's it. If you go in Google, I'll go in Google, and you go on remove.bg, remove background, there it is.
Got it.
And you just upload your images right there. It's a free program online.
Okay, so this is just a dumb question because I know that so how do you get it on your little toolbar right there so you don't have to look it up every time?
So what I do, you see this little star right here?
I don't, oh yeah.
Okay, so that's your favorite. So you can add it to your favorites. So I just wrote remove BG instead of the whole title they had, okay, and it will pop up on your favorites.
You're fantastic, thank you. I'm computer illiterate.
That's fine. That's why we have these sessions. I am no pro at this at all, but I've learned so many little different strategies that I'd rather share them. Remove background is fantastic. So just to show you, I think that's actually the only one that I used. So these are my puppies right here.
So cute.
And one is actually sound asleep on my bed right now. She doesn't go very far from me. I took a good picture that I had from my phone. I downloaded it onto my drive from my phone. From my drive, I downloaded it onto my laptop, removed background, and chucked it in my Google Slides. So you're able to do all that with any picture that you find online, or any picture that you have that you want. The other little trick with this, I'm just gonna throw it. You can modify any picture. Let's say, for instance, something didn't fully erase. There might have been letters or something that didn't erase up in this corner. You can erase it yourself. So there's also an eraser brush that you can use. Let's say I want to do a dent here. You can erase parts of it and save it like that. So sometimes it's the program, it doesn't know exactly what you want. You can play around with it and erase parts of it that you want to erase. So that is the first tool I wanted to show you that is very useful. Before we go on to the next steps, I'm going to give you guys a minute or two to try to put maybe 2 or 3, maybe cones, hoops, and randomly find another beanbag or something that you could use, even balls. Put 3 images into your classroom, and then we'll get going from there. Make sure that they're transparent.
Oh boy.
Sounds good.
Okay. And I'm here if you need any step-by-step, you go right ahead. So.
Ah.
Melanie, when I save the when it downloads from that app, and then I click on it, how do I save that back, or how do I copy it, or I just get like this little window in the top left corner?
Okay. Do you know where it went to? Do you know where it's saved? Did it save into your downloads?
Oh, let me look. Yes, it did.
I've lost my
Okay.
whole thing.
So as long as you know where it is, you can either open it and then drag it into your slide, or you can go in the insert.
Okay.
Insert an image, and then you upload it from the computer. Here, if you look, you have your recent downloads in your Google. In your downloads. I automatically have it so it saves on my desktop, but most of the time it automatically goes into your downloaded.
Okay, that makes sense.
You can find it from there.
Okay. Cool.
Is there a way to lock down the background? Because I keep accidentally moving it when I'm moving my objects.
Is your background full screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it is now. Let's see. Maybe I just accidentally grabbed it when I was trying. Maybe that's probably what I did. I'm just curious if there's a way to lock things down. Even your images, is there a way to lock those down?
You know what? That's something I do not know. So does everybody have at least one or two equipments that they could use onto their screen that are transparent?
Mine are not transparent. Is that going to be a big deal?
It's not a big deal. It's just not going to make it as pretty as usual. But you know how to make them transparent, right?
Yeah, I just need more time to practice that.
That's fine. It's not going to be a deal. It's not going to be an issue at all, as long as you're just playing around with it, and then whenever you do have a little bit more time, you can make them transparent. Is everybody else okay?
Yes.
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 Perfect. So it sounds like everybody's good to go. So now if you have a look at mine, the hula hoops, there's quite a bit of space here in between the hula hoop and the blue rectangle. Now, eventually, if you have one where you have a lot of links, you don't want the links to be too big, okay? If you have a look, you want the rectangle to be as close to the object as possible, because they're going to be kind of one on top of each other, and it's going to cause issues whenever it comes to inserting links that you need. So if you have a look at my hula hoops, if you double click on it, you can get these little lines. Do you see these little lines? So here were the squares, and here are lines. The lines allow you to shorten that blue square or that blue rectangle, and now you are more precise on your object instead of having huge rectangles around it.
I just have a white screen.
A white screen?
Yeah. I don't have anything else on. I'm not back to your page. It's just white.
Not back to my page. So
well, I mean, it's on your page, but it's just when I see the little cursor thing, but it's just a white page.
Let me do it again. See, can you see it now?
No.
Yeah, I have the same thing. It might just be our Zooms, like on our end.
I see your gym.
I see it.
I've got the gym too.
So
yeah, I see the gym.
So do you see the difference between these two? How one of them had the little blue squares and then the other one had the lines, and the lines allow you to make your object a little bit more precise.
Yes.
Okay. And then remember to click out of it so that it zooms in on your object. And now you can move that and you have your object exactly how you want it. Back to those white screens. Are they still white?
Yes.
Yes, they are, but I'm just going to go back and watch the recording because I think it's on our end.
Okay. So this is you can play around with your gym. So if you were to have your school banner or your school mascots or your school, whatever you'd want to play with, this is how you're going to do it. You're going to put all these objects into your gym. You can use the remove background. You can use transparent. Now, I am also going to share this is a library that I'm in another group, and people have just kind of been all compiling everything, and everything is being shared. So it's a mixture of everybody's stuff that we've all put transparent, that we have that we've all shared together. People have put resources together. So these images are already all transparent, and all you would technically have to do, for instance, let's say you want something on this sheet and you want this stuffy that's trying to do a roll, backwards roll. You copy it, you go onto yours, and you paste it, and then you have this. So there's so many things that have already been done. Where is it? That you can just kind of play around with it. Art stuff, if you want shells, if you want anything. It's already all transparent, so you don't have to do it. And there's 100 and some different things. So after this session, I'm gonna go back on my post, and I'm gonna share a huge library with a bunch of stuff for you guys. So you guys can play with that.
That is awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, thank you.
And in that same session, or in that same file, I'm going to share this whole file with you. But if you look at it, I'm going to share all of this. And it's not coming up right now. It's going to take time to download. But there's also gym equipment in one of them where it's all there. So like the cones, the hula hoops, gymnastics mats, all that stuff is already there. It's just taking time. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to share all this with you guys. And for instance, this is one that I made. I made this one for field day. And I shared that with the kids. I made these cones. You put letters and numbers on it by inserting stuff. And I shared that with them on field day. So they got to do their field days at home. All that was bitmojis and toilet paper, towels, paper airplanes. I took a stadium that was already a background online, put it on, and there. That was my classroom. And when it loaded, I don't know if you saw when it loaded, you saw all the little squares. So that's why you need to have them as close to your object as possible, because eventually you could have so many that if you want to link something to it, they're kind of going to overlap and it's going to be a little different. So we're going to talk about all that afterwards. But I'm going to share all those things with you, including these backgrounds that are already done. I'm going to pop this one open for you. When it pops up, look for the squares. You see the squares that popped up? Those are all things that I inserted. That's just one that I made for meditation, yoga, a Zen one. So you can really choose which way you want your room to be. This one I made up, and it's just me. I found that background. I added some disco balls, and I just added my avatar that dances. And then I'm going to show you little tricks for this to present them. If you click on, let's say you click on this disco ball, it brings you to a Just Dance that they like. So
this is Tyler.
Oh,
Tyler with
it can bring you to,
right.
I guess it brings you to Gangnam Style here. So it can be as simple as this, or you can make it complicated eventually when you get, where is it? I think this is.
Whatever you did, I have the picture back.
Yay! I didn't do anything.
Back on. Thanks.
So the way I did this, and I'm just throwing this out there, was I started off with this one virtual classroom. this was my initial classroom. And then every time I created something either on YouTube or another classroom on nutrition or that Just Dance one, I would all link them to this. So this has all my creations, everything that I have found during my teaching. I think we had like 8 weeks online. So everything that I found, I linked to this, or I created it. I created many YouTube videos because I had to translate them to French. I have a link to my website. I'm just going to show you, for instance, another thing that was really popular, and I'm sure you've seen them all, would be the Netflix one. Well, this Netflix one, it's all videos that either I found that were French or that I created. This is all made in a Google Slides. So I made the background black, I added squares, I added my pictures and the links. Kids seem to think that it's a real Netflix. It actually does look like it. And then everything just reloops back to my main page. So eventually, once you feel comfortable and you loop everything around, it just you can make it into a big circle. But I like having all my stuff on one page. And for instance, if they have indoor recess, you can pick somebody, you go up, they present this, and that person gets to click on whatever they want, and the class gets to do that activity during indoor recess instead of just sitting there and not doing much or wrecking little things. So this is a way that the teachers can have access to all my stuff, but yet I have all my stuff on a base so that I know where it is. This was 8 weeks worth of things that I built. They all link to either YouTube. This one links to a YouTube video that I created. So this is a YouTube video that I created. It links to it. But again, this is 8 weeks worth of work all put into one. But I started with that pink room with this bitmoji, this avatar of me doing the weights, and the background and a window. And I started off with this bulletin board. Every time I did something, I just added a picture onto it. And now I have all my resources into one. So it's not something complicated. You're not going to have something complicated like this overnight. If you have tons of stuff that you already have access to, we've all seen numerous YouTube videos during COVID. So if you want to do like a Netflix, or if you want to add certain things that you want kids to go add it already, you go right ahead and just keep on adding transparent images or bitmojis, and you get something like this. So we'll get to that in a little bit. That was my Netflix one. That one doesn't seem to be working. So we're up to here. So I want my bear to be a little bit smaller, and I want him to be down here. I want him to practice doing his role. This is what I have. You guys have a couple of bitmojis. You have a couple of items in there. Now you want to link them to a certain, let's say you want to link them to a YouTube video, okay? Or to your homeroom or your school webpage. So if everybody can pick one item and put them to your school's, bring up your school's homepage on another link. So for instance, my school, this is my school. This is my school's home or web page. This is what it is. So I want my students, when they click on that stuffy, to be able to go to my school website. Have I lost anybody there?
No.
Everybody seen?
I know where my website is.
Pardon? Okay, so let's say we want to link our school website to that teddy bear. You have to copy the website, go into your Google Classroom again, and I want it linked to my teddy bear. So not my bitmoji, I want it linked to my teddy bear. Insert link. It copied the link to my school website. Apply. So now your teddy bear has a link to your school's website. When your students are gonna be on this slide, if they click on whatever item you chose, it'll bring them to your school. I'm just throwing that out there. It can be YouTube video. It can be a website that has nutritional stuff. It can be anything that you want. But I just chose our school website so that we all had a relation.
Can you say that again? Once you get on your website, so I have my school website open. How do I click? How do I do
highlight it up here, double click on it.
In the bar, the space bar, okay.
Yeah, this bar. And then once it's highlighted, you copy it.
Hold on. Now I can't get it to highlight.
Double click on it and it should pop up blue.
Okay, it's blue.
Okay.
And then I copy that website, go back to
your Google Classroom.
Okay. Put it inside whatever one I want it to be on.
Yep.
And paste it.
And then you have to go and insert, and you want to link it. That link is to link whatever's inside of that blue square, mine is a stuffy, to whatever website. So you're going to link it, and you're going to paste that website right here and apply it.
Link, paste, apply. Link, placed, apply.
So if you just want to see if it worked, you can go and present and go click on the item you highlighted. So mine was that teddy bear, and it brings you to my school website.
Nope.
Nope.
No, but it's up at the top. Maybe I put it in the wrong place.
So are you in your phys ed? Are you in your gym?
I am.
Okay. Click on your whatever item you wanted.
Okay.
Go and insert.
Insert.
Link. And there should be
paste.
Paste and then apply.
And then once I hit apply, what do I do there?
Go and present.
Present. Oh, there it went.
And there you go.
So you got to make sure that you don't paste the website in there, you apply it.
Yes. Yeah. So that you can do with any kind. Once you're in there, you can go to exit and it'll bring you back. So try doing it now with a YouTube video. So click on your avatar, okay, that you're gonna put a YouTube video. So go find a YouTube video, copy it, copy the link, go back to your gym on your avatar, insert the link, paste it, and apply it. So let's just do a trial. Everybody's going to try using one of your avatars. And let's try putting a Google or a YouTube video on it.
Well, all of a sudden everything, okay. Let's see here.
Let's go with this one.
Hey guys, this is Matt from Epic Soccer.
So do you copy video URL? Is that how you?
All I did was I go up in this search bar up here.
Okay.
And you highlight it, copy, there might be a spot down here that you can get the, so yeah, I copy that. YouTube.
So I have to open the YouTube video first, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Copy. Oh, there we go.
Did it work?
Yep.
Yay! Is there anybody else that needs a little bit of help before we get going to the next step?
Melanie, I just had a suggestion. When we were doing some YouTube stuff through my school, I don't know if you guys have heard of YouTube Safe.
Yeah, so safe, youtube.net, I think is the other one. This is another way that you can post. You can use these ones instead. So it generates it through Safe YouTube. I know that this came out after I had made mine already. So SafeTube is, a lot of schools are using it. We haven't had anything yet about it.
Okay.
But I am going to change on all my links to SafeTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of linking the original YouTube, you can link this one.
Just adding more steps to what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it as basic as possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But if you're already using it, it's not as confusing to do SafeTube.
Yeah.
But yes, that is a great point. Thank you. So SafeTube is something that was developed in the last little bit, and it's allowing you to use safe YouTube videos. I haven't used it much, I'll be honest. I haven't used it much because I created mine before everybody started using this. So this is one thing that you might be asked to use if you're going there. So it's SafeTube, and again, it's the same thing. You just copy and paste this link, and you're going to use that link instead of the YouTube link that you copied into your gym. Does anybody else want to add anything? Okay. So the next thing I want to show is eventually you might get a lot of items, a lot of objects in your classroom. So let's say I have these hula hoops and I want this stuffy, okay? But I want to have them, I want the hula hoops on top of the stuffy. I don't want them, I want them in front, sorry. I guess it's front or back. So one thing you can do is when you go in order, you can bring them to the front. It's not gonna look. So this is where the trickiness comes. Order, I want to, you got to make sure you have the right object highlighted. So I want to bring my hula hoops in front of the stuffy, but I want my stuffy to be there. I just want the hula hoops to be in front of it. So you got to make sure you have the hula hoops highlighted and bring it to front. So then you have your hula hoops on top of your stuffy instead of the stuffies on top of your hula hoops. If you want it opposite again, you just order it, bring it to front, and now your stuffy is in front. So when you get to complex, gymnasiums or complex Google classrooms, that is another little thing that's very nice to know about so that you can actually make order in your classroom and it makes sense. So I'm going to show you one, for instance. There's none on that one. There's none on that one. So for instance here, I wanted, let's say I wanted these, so let's say I wanted, these are all my boxes. I want these weights to be in front of me. Just for instance, I want these weights. Order, you bring it to the front. So now the weights are technically in front of me instead of behind me. But I actually do want them in the back. So I'm gonna put them back there. So just that, the overlap stuff is something for you to use. That's very useful whenever you get to making bigger classrooms. Are there any questions on the overlapping? Okay, so I want a link. Picture. I made a list of things I wanted to make sure to tell you that were important. So I'm just going down the link. Now, let's say you have your 10 or 12 or whatever amount of bitmojis and athletic stuff that you want. You have it all there. How do you present it to your students? Or how do you present it to the parents? This is where there's loopholes, there's little things that you can do. Excuse me. The first important thing to do, is to make a copy of it, because you want to be able to have one copy for yourself and then a copy that if you share it to your students or if you share it to a coworker, they're not going to mess up your original copy. So let's say this beautiful gym that I have here with my cone, my volleyball, my 2 bitmojis, my hula hoop and my stuffy. This is my beautiful gym. I've put everything I want on it. This is mine. What you do is always make a copy of it, of your entire presentation, and it's going to go straight into my drive, but at least you have the original. This is yours, it's your original. No one, never share this one, just so you have it. And then if anything ever happens to another one, at least you have it. then you take this one, put in a folder, hide it. Don't ever give this to anybody else. So if you look at it, I have the original that I made, but I also have a copy of the one I just made that is identical in case somebody accidentally moves something.
Michelle, I'm going to have to go. You said you were going to record this?
Yes, I am recording it.
Okay, so is there a way that I can get it later?
Yeah, I'm gonna share all of these links, and I'm gonna share, I'll share this on that phys ed community Facebook group.
I sure do appreciate your help today. It's been a wonderful lesson today.
Great.
Thank you.
I hope you get to use it.
Thank you. I will be using it.
Perfect. So, this, I've made a copy and I have my original. You can choose to keep your copy. You can choose to keep your original. Just tuck one away that you're not gonna lose. So I'm gonna use my original just because that's me. I use my original for everything. I'm back down to my original one. If you look in your drive, I have the copy of it and I have my original one. So I'm closing one up. I'm always gonna have it. Tuck it in a safe place. You have it. So I'm back to my original one. Does everybody understand the importance of that? Is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions? Perfect. So this is what I want to present to my students. So you can choose, I'm not exactly sure how your format is to presenting stuff to students. You might have a Google site, you might give it to their teachers, you might email it to them. Whatever you want to do, whichever way you want to give it to them. So up here on the search bar, or I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but this bar up here, everything after edit, you need that slash. Take away the edit and you go on and you write present. So as soon as you write present instead of it and you press enter, this is the link you're going to share to the kids so that they don't have to go and press present themselves. It automatically comes up to this whenever they have that link, instead of going into their Google Slides and pressing on the present themselves. This is what they'll get. So that's just a way of erasing the after the edit, and this is what the students will get. And then they can automatically click.
Can you show that one more time, please?
Yeah, sure. So I'm gonna go on, let's say this one, okay? This is my athletic director one, and right here, you always have edit. Everything edit and after, you erase. And you write present. As soon as you press enter on present, this is what it's going to come up in. So you would copy and paste this link up here to your students instead of the original one here. Because if you give them this website, they have to go up and press present, and not necessarily everybody knows that. So by writing present, it will automatic, and then you can share this website with them instead of the first one. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
So what I do is on Mondays, all of our schools are on Google platform. So all of our students all have their school email. They're all on Google. So what I did is on Mondays, I went either and emailed their teachers, or I put it on whatever communication they had according to the class. I would copy this link, and I would send them this link and not this link. I would send them the one with present, and then they could click away on it. So that's a way of presenting your stuff instead of, oh, how am I going to get this link? How am I going to get this? If you have it already, if you press present, it's going to go to it, but you don't have that link that they can, that you can share. You don't have that shareable link for them. So the other way, by putting present up on that tab, it's going to allow you to share the right one. Are there any questions about that one?
No.
No, it's clear. Thank you.
Got it.
Okay. So let's say, especially with the older kids, you might have, I just want to open up one of mine. Hold on.
Hi, honey.
Pardon? So with one of mine, I'm just going to show you, especially with older kids. Where is my Olympics Day? Where is my field day? Here it is. So as you can see here, I had something here for them, but I don't want them to write on mine. Sometimes you might have something that you want them to write on, or you want to share with your coworkers, okay? Instead of giving them this link up here, you want to force them to make a copy. So even in our PE classroom or community Facebook group that we had, the ones that I posted, as soon as you clicked on my link, it forced you to make a copy. So my original copies were never going to be affected, and you could play around on those. So let's say I want to hand you guys all this copy so that you can all have it. Instead of edit, you write copy at the end. And this is the link that I shared to you on that Facebook group. So anybody that clicked on mine, it forced you to make a copy. So your original is not touched. And then you guys all had a copy of it, but no one ever touched mine. So copy instead of edit, same thing, present instead of edit. These words at the end are a great way to share your stuff. You can share this with students, you can share this with parents, you can share them. I know that some science teachers are using this for lab reports and stuff. By making them a copy, they're not touching the original, and they're not seeing what the other people are doing on the original one. So copy is another good word to remember. So if I was to give you my Zoom presentation, this is my gymnasium, and I want to share it with you, copy, and this would be the link that I would share with you. So if I look at participants, and is there a conversation that I would get with you? I shared a conversation with Bridger. I shared a conversation with you. If you were to click on that, it wouldn't bring you to my gym. It would make you make a copy of my gym, and then you'd be able to edit it. So copy is another great way of sharing your stuff.
Okay, cool.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody have questions about that? Now, one thing that I have found, and I learned this totally by trial and error, hold on, let's just get my classroom back up. So this is my classroom that I created today. So let's say I want to share this with my parents, or I want to share it on the school website, or you want to share it with even your students if they don't necessarily have the knowledge to be signed into their Google account. They might not even have a Google account. I always make this copy that I want to share with them available to everybody. You got to change your settings for it. If you have it on privacy settings or anything like that, and they have that link, they won't be able to. So the first one that I ever shared with, I had it on with anybody that has the link, with our school link. What was it? With our school email, could have a link on it. But with the little ones, I teach P to 4 phys ed. So with our primaries, they weren't necessarily logged into their school email. So parents had the link in their emails, but they couldn't access it. So by changing the settings that anybody can access it is going to save you a lot of time. And that's why by making that copy, that original copy, is very important. So if you go on to File and Share, see, it automatically goes up to only people added can access this link. So here I'd have to anybody with the link can view, anybody with the link can view. So if you post this link on any type of social media, any email, you just want to send it to your friend down the road for them to use with their kids, or your students are at their grandparents' house and they're limited to what they can have. By having the open link shared, or I guess it's pretty much allowed with everybody now, copying this link and sharing this link is going to be a lot easier. You're not going to have the parents, you're not going to have kids, hey, I can't access it. Make it available to everybody. That's what I have been doing, and then it stopped. I can't get in, or the parents that are the younger kids, or this way, this link is available to everybody.
Where did you find that again?
Okay, so if you go in File, okay, and Share, so at the bottom here, you can change it. So anyone with the link, or you want it restricted, or so let's say you're still working on it and you have a co-teacher that you want them to be able to have it, put it on restricted and just add them to the link. And then you guys can both collaborate. But if you actually want to share it with everybody, I always share the link with everybody, or they can view. If you edit, then they can move your stuff around. So anyone with the link can view it, and then you press on done. That way it has anybody with this link. When you press present up here, when you share this link right here with the present, anybody that has this link will be able to open it. It doesn't have to be somebody necessarily on your school browser, or on your school somebody with a Gmail, I guess.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anybody else that needs a little bit of clarification on that? I just found at the beginning, especially where this was all new, a lot of the parents were either logged into their Gmail but could still access Zoom or could still access a lot of their stuff because they had emails from the teachers. So when they were clicking on this, they weren't able to pop this up. And we also have a Twitter account for school. So they posted this on the Twitter account, but not everybody was logged into their school Gmail. So parents mainly have Twitter, and when they would click on it, they couldn't access it. So this way it allows the whole community, it allows everybody to access your information. Well, your slide, I guess, not your information, but your slide. So by making it public. So that is one other thing. So I have two other things to show you. So let's say this is the session that you've made today, and I want to add it. I'm just jumping here. So I'm just going to copy this into my, so this is just a slide that was, this was a slide that was already made by somebody else. And I just added it into my school gym for today that we made. So this is the original one that I just made. And then this is my get to know the teacher. The first day I want the kids to get to know me. Instead of linking, like here we linked our school website, you can also link a second slide. So it's the same thing. Let's say I go to my first bitmoji that I have right here with the soccer ball, and you would go on insert link, and usually you would link a website. You can also link it to a second link in this presentation. So I want to link it to slide 2, which is my slide 2 right here, and you apply it. So when you go on present and you click on this bitmoji it brings you to that second slide. So on the second slide, you can link something. So let's say here you wanted to link a picture of your family or pets or a website. You can link them on your second slide and they can access it from your first slide. On your second slide as well, what you can do is let's get this calendar just for instance, insert it, a link, and you can return it to the first slide. So when I present it, here I am on my gym, I click on myself, I go to that second slide. If I'm on that second slide, you click on the calendar, you go back to your first slide. That's all little things that you can get done. Now this is just, I just threw it together right now. If you look at, for instance, all my creations here, and it presents. So here I have this one that I know I've created another slide. I linked it to my slide, okay? And you could make even a little arrow up here that you can go back to your original slide. So you can all interlink them that you can get back to your original. But instead of linking a website, you can link slides. And it doesn't have to be a slide on that. It doesn't have to be the second slide that you did. It can be that presentation slide that we had created earlier where we had taken a presentation at the end of edit. At the end of edit, you can put presentation and you can present that one. So it doesn't need to be a slide. It can be another website or another present one.
That is so cool.
So I have them all like intertwined together. And I'm just going to show you, I created this, eventually you can go and create Google sites and stuff like that. I have our school websites, I have Google, and you can always return, I can always return on anything back to this site. So you just have to link them and use these websites or use the slides and just kind of re-loop them all the time so that it always goes to your stuff. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so that's that part.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Sorry, very new to doing this.
Go ahead.
So when the kids get the presentation,
yeah,
they have free reign to just click on any of this and do it?
So you can add, where is my,
or do you guys obviously give them specific directions on what they need to do?
I'm going to show you one just for instance, all my creations. So my Olympics field day, this is what I gave them. Oh, that wasn't it. My Olympics field day, they were given this. You can choose whichever way you want to do it. So you can let them kind of click around, or you can put up those cones. Why isn't it bringing me to the right one? Might be this one. Hold on, I'm just going to go back in my drive. Bear with me here, sorry. So, for instance, for our field day, I had, how many stations that I had? So I took stuff from Open Gym, Open Phys Ed, and I created the videos myself, and I had this. So instead, if you can let them go ahead and click on whatever they want, or you can put numbers. So I wanted them to do this one first. You can label them whichever way you want them to. There's another one that I found. This one, it's an Instagram one. It's just a format that somebody has created already. It's all in Google Slides, and then you modify it to whatever you want. But how I'm going to do it is I am going, for instance, insert text. So I'm going to do my my Monday, what I want them to do on Monday. And then you can add a picture, insert an image of, let's go with fire truck. So I have a fire truck here. You have your fire truck. Monday, I want them to learn about fire safety. So that's going to be their lesson on Monday. Monday, fire safety. Then I would link my fire truck to whatever YouTube video or lesson that you know of that you want, and they can click on it on Monday. So you can either label it, these are the steps that you want them to take, or this is what I want you to do each day. Or you can just let them free for all, depending on whichever way you want to do it. You can have an announcement board and say, hey, I want you to click on 2 things and do 2 things out of this, out of these examples today. So it's totally up to you how you want to do it. For me, I'm going to do this type of thing. Each of my levels are going to have a couple of things that they can work on throughout the week. So I might have like primaries and ones where I'm going to have a list of 5 activities and I want them to do 2 that week. So it's totally up to you how you want to do it. It can be free for all and let them click. So my full gymnasium, my full virtual classroom that I have, that is this one. This was shared for the summer because every one of those bitmojis, every one of those avatars has a link. So they can play around with that all summer. A rainy day, they put it up on the iPad and they just click and it brings them to a YouTube video, or they click and it brings them to an activity that they can do. That's what I gave them for the summer, and there's probably about 30 things that they can click on. And that's where that is. Just to give you an idea, other things that I've created was a Where's Waldo. Again, it's all done on Google Slides, and it's stuff that you can get ideas from all over online. So somebody had already made this, and then I added my 5 bitmojis right here, and I added them in this Google Slides. So it's just a little fun activity for the kids to do, but it's interactive where they can click. I also made this one is going to be a sign. I made this in Google Slides. I added my bitmojis and I printed it off, and I have it laminated somewheres. And I'm going to have that before you walk in the classroom. How do you want me to greet you? So I use my bitmojis. This is all done through Google Slides. I added my bitmojis, I laminated it, and that's how it was done. Another fun one that I made was our end of the year. This one I saved as a JPEG instead, but I made it on Google Classroom and then I transferred it into a JPEG. I saved it as a JPEG. So these are all of our personnel at school. Everybody either sent me their bitmojis or I created it for them. And this was our end of the year hurrah, saying goodbye to everybody. Again, I use this in Google Slides. So you have lots of different options on how you can and how you want to use it. But those are different little things that have been shared. All of these things I've just kind of tweaked. This is our local newspaper. I've added, I think that's honestly the only thing that I've added. I had to add the water because this year, for some odd reason, we were told that half the water wasn't up to school standard, but it was okay with the city. It just wasn't okay with the schools. So everybody had water bottles. So I had to add the water bottle. Just little things that you want to add. If you can look at this one, actually, I played with the order. I put the coffee cup in front of her hand. So it looks like she's holding the coffee cup instead of her hand and the coffee cup on top of it. So these ones, I was able to play with the order. I have the elephant in front of the teacher on the books. So playing with that order. This is all we did at the end of the year, unfortunately, but we were able to send off the kids with this from all of our staff. So these are all little things that have been shared all over. You can find some on Teacher Pay Teachers. The issue with that is some people have taken, for instance, not mine personally, but other classrooms that have been shared and are making other people pay for them. It's not their products and you're paying for somebody else's stuff. All the stuff that I have was shared in one of my groups, and it's for everybody to use and it's free. We're just all collaborating together to share everything. So then you have random people that have been using Teachers Pay Teachers, but it's really not their work. So everything that I am going to share with you, it's stuff that was shared with me, and it is everybody wants to help each other out. So you don't have to start from scratch. There's backgrounds, there's gyms, there's objects. everything is there already, and you can just kind of bits and pieces together to make it unique for yourself. Are there any questions?
That's awesome. Thank you.
I have one more little cheat I want to show you guys. So
wow, really, thank you.
I have one more little cheat that I want to show you because it's I haven't used it really yet. I'm just going to change something here so I can see you. How do I do this? Here it is. I can't even see myself. There it is. Okay, so this last thing that I want to share with you is an app that I downloaded on my phone. So it's called Color Space, or Colorscape, sorry. So I'm going to just show you what the app looks like. Called Colorscape. So it's right here. That's the app. It costs the initial, I'm not exactly sure how much it cost at first because I've already downloaded it and paid for it. But this app, I was able to go on my bitmoji on my phone. So you have the bitmojis that say don't touch your face, or you have the one that says hi. You have the one that says whatever. There's so many bitmojis that you can use. So I used this one that says don't touch your face. Okay? Don't touch your face. I saved it in my photos on my phone. And then once you have that Colorscape app downloaded, you can turn anything into black and white. So I'm going to do, especially with the younger kids, where don't touch your face, sneeze into your arm, wash your hands. I'm going to do like a color section if they're in class. And this is, you put it in that Colorscape app. Where did I put it? Right here. And you upload it. And you can make it in black and white. Okay, the original was color. Now you can make it into black and white. And your kids can color that. You can send it to your email and print it off. You can make books of different things. You can take your, actually what I did was that virtual goodbye with all of our bitmojis for our whole school, all of our personnel at school. I put that in my Colorscape app and I uploaded that picture in black and white and I sent it to all of our students and they could print it off and color us. They could color all their teachers. It was just a nice picture for them to, a little activity for them to do. So if you want to do nutrition and you want to find a bitmoji of you with an apple, or you just want to go online and you found this really good food chain pyramid that you want to use, you can upload it to Colorscape and make it into black and white, and the kids can color it at the end or after you've done your lesson if you just want to use this. It allows you to do pictures in black and white, and it can kind of do the end of your lesson as an activity. So that was another thing that I found entertaining and I used a lot. Actually, my daughter, she's 6, she found my avatar and she would print my avatar doing different things and she'd color me different in rainbow colors and bright fuchsia colors, and she has a whole wall of me now in bitmojis that she's colored. So it's just kind of fun, a little activity that you can kind of do. But I think that's all I have to show you today. if there's any other questions, I'm more than willing to try to answer them.
Merci, vraiment merci. Merci beaucoup.
Good, yeah.